Top of the morning, you are watching the Christian Authors on Tour CAOT TV Show, and I am one of your co-hosts, Lynn Pender, and today I have none other than Pastor Kevin Wayne Johnston.
You always say no, none other than. I accept it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this awesome show.
Yes, and this is the last broadcast for the 2018 year. What
It
a
is.
journey this has been, right?
It's been phenomenal. It's only been 6 months, but it feels like it's much longer because we're having so much fun and educating you and bringing you knowledge. So thank you for your support, and we look forward to a phenomenal 2019.
Absolutely, and yes. So many thank yous. Want to thank our corporate sponsor for the month of November and December, and that's Freedom Paper Company. Want to make sure that you check out their website at freedompapercompany.com. Get all of your paper products. And want to thank the WBGR Network, Lionel Green, Tim Day. Pastor Kevin, we couldn't do this without them, right?
No way. They're behind the scenes, but they're also doing a phenomenal job. Yes. And that's why we always have to make sure we recognize and acknowledge their great work and their vision for what they're doing here as well.
Yes, and if you love watching the CAOT TV show, this is just one TV show on one of their networks. They have a sports network. They have a health and wellness network. They have a shopping channel.
They do.
They also have a TV channel on is it Roku TV and Amazon Prime. And so listen, this is a growing network, and I'm really excited to be part of this network.
Yes.
Part of the journey, and I want you to be part of it too. If you are an author and you're watching and you're looking for an opportunity to kind of broaden the base of readership, consider doing an audio book with Believe God Records, which is part of the WBGR family.
Exactly.
They're like an empire.
Well,
you know?
it's very diverse.
Yes.
And they have some very creative minds. So plug in and get involved.
Absolutely. And we're really excited with Christian Authors on Tour. If you're just tuning in, we are a network, a group of Christian authors, male and female, who are on fire for God. We write nonfiction, we write fiction books, but we all have a similar purpose. We use our writing as a tool for Christian ministry. And we're gearing up for the 2019 Multi-State Christian Book Tour. And I'm really excited that one of our stops is going to be the Harlem Book Fair. And I'm about to faint here because we have the founder of the Harlem Book Fair sitting right here in the red seat. And it's none other than Max Rodriguez. And we're going to talk to Max in a little bit, and he's going to share with us. But I just have to say, I just want to thank you because I know you could be any place you want to be. Any place. And I appreciate you taking the time to share with us.
Well, Lynn, you called.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
So there's a testimony there.
Yes.
If you ask, there's a 50% chance that someone would say yes.
Yes.
But if you don't ask,
it's 100% no, right? Yes. Well, I'm just thankful for the blessing. I really am. And we have a calendar.
Yes, we do. We do. So Lynn had already mentioned, but this is the last show of 2018. So our author of the month for 2018, December, is Tracy Lydia Gardner. And she's an awesome award-winning author of 8 books, born right here in the DMV area. That stands for DC, Maryland, and Virginia, and is doing some really, really great work. And so as we transition from featuring her as our final December 2018 author, please invest in Christian Authors on Tour and purchase your 2019 calendar, where you'll see 12 different authors featured throughout the entire year. Plus, it's a good way to stay on top of all of your book events and all of your book signings.
Yes, and the other thing to think about for us is that 2019 is our 11th year anniversary.
Wow.
And so this was a big year, 2018, too, for 10 years.
Right.
But 2019, to commemorate 11 years, we have 3 photo wall calendars. We have the CAOT TV photo wall calendar. We have the Men of Christian Authors on Tour, and I don't have the ladies out, but we also have the Ladies of Christian Authors on Tour photo wall calendar. And like you said, Pastor Kevin, it's an opportunity for people to support some of the authors that's been part of the Christian Authors on Tour family.
Absolutely.
But I even threw in a few photo highlights throughout the years of
Right.
just some great memories that we've had throughout this 11-year journey that we're celebrating in 2019. And so if you want to purchase a calendar, you can go to our website, www.christianauthorsontour.com. Click on the products and services tab, and it's a wonderful way to kind of support Christian Authors on Tour, but also it's a keepsake, and it's a way to acknowledge some of the men and women who use writing as a tool for Christian ministry.
And Lynn, I have a proposal, and this is a surprise for you.
Okay.
So as we transition from year 10 to 11, I would like to make a proposal that in January of 2019, right here on the live program, we have a 10-year anniversary cake cutting ceremony.
Wow, okay.
Give it some thought.
Sounds good to me.
All right.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think so too, right? So I'm gonna have to any cake decorators out there, any bakers out
You know
there?
we can find someone.
Okay.
Somebody in the network is out there salivating at the opportunity. Yep.
So we look forward to that. And we thank you, because we couldn't do this 11 years. We could not do this without your support, without your prayers, without your purchases, because it's one thing to like a Christian author on Facebook, but it's another thing to buy their book.
Exactly.
And we want to encourage you. We thank you for making an investment into the men and women who take the time to use their writing as a tool for Christian ministry. And we just thank you. And so we're gearing up in 2019 for our Seed and Good Soil Christian Authors on Tour, multi-state Christian book tour. I have some I guess it's kind of sad news, but I'm just learning that we just have to go where we have the most support. And we wasn't getting the type of support that I felt like we needed in Savannah, so we're not going to do the Savannah stop.
Okay.
So our first stop is actually going to be the Christian Writers Conference, which is going to be in May.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So that'll be the first stop on the tour. The second stop on the tour will be in July at the Harlem Book Fair.
Hey.
The third stop will be in St. Louis, Missouri. The fourth stop will be in Boston, Massachusetts in September. And then we're back here in Baltimore in December for the Christian Writers Literary Festival. And so for all of our Christian book lovers and even authors, if you want to join us on the journey in 2019, we would love to have you. Please visit us online, www.christianauthorsontour.com. By the first of the year, I will have the website updated with all of the tour stop information.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes,
Wonderful.
yes,
You know
yes.
that's right around the corner.
I know.
Okay.
It's next week. I know. And so that brings me to you.
Okay.
You know, I just want to talk our way through this. I want you to, for those of you who don't know, this is Max Rodriguez. He's the founder of the Harlem Book Fair, and it's one of the largest outdoor African-American book festivals in the country, in the United States, and it's been around the longest. How long now?
This will be our 21st year.
21 years.
Wow.
I mean, it's amazing. And you do so many other things, too. And so I just want you to give a little history about who you are, Max Rodriguez, and what brought you to this wonderful end product of the Harlem Book Fair.
Well, I've always been a book lover.
Okay.
Right? I'm a word person. We are
Right.
word people.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
Pardon the pun.
Right.
Word.
Understood.
Okay,
Understood.
okay.
Understood.
So I was working one day. I by profession, I'm a programmer.
Okay.
All right. So I used to work for NYNEX, which was what Verizon was before it became Verizon. It was
Really?
NYNEX, right?
Wow.
And I was writing code. I was sitting with my colleagues, and I was watching them just sitting there, waiting for either their next increase in pay or the next year to turn. And I had an epiphany. I said, "This can't be me."
Right.
What do I love to do? Well, I
Yes.
love books. So I
Yes.
began a publication called QBR, the Black Book Review.
Yes.
Because I used to read the New York Times Book Review and the New York Review of Books, and the first thing I would do would be to turn, to the table of contents to see what books looked like me, and more times than not,
Yeah.
there wouldn't be any at all.
Right.
Yes.
So if such a publication had existed, I just would have read it.
Absolutely.
Maybe subscribe to it, but nothing like that existed. So I began QBR, the Black Book Review,
Yes.
and I had an office downtown New York City, and I got a call from an economic development corporation in Harlem. Said, "Would you be interested in bringing the business into Harlem? We're developing Harlem, so we'd like you to come up."
Okay.
And I said, okay, I would. And when I got there, I realized that there was no public event that celebrated Black writing.
Yes.
How could that be in the home of the Harlem
Harlem,
Renaissance?
right?
Exactly.
The
Exactly.
Harlem
Harlem,
Renaissance,
right.
you know?
Exactly.
I mean, Langston Hughes,
Yes.
you know?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I began the Harlem Book Fair. And in that first book fair, we had about 40 exhibitors and maybe 900 people, which was fine. But a few years later, we had over 200 exhibitors and 20,000 people.
Yeah.
And we were being televised nationally by C-SPAN because it just tapped into who we know ourselves to be.
Yes.
Exactly.
Intelligent storytellers, inquisitive, curious, forward visioning, you know,
Yes.
forward reaching, and this is everything that we are. These are not only our stories, but it's our history.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
And you know,
Right.
and the fact of the matter is that we love who we are. We know who we are. We
Yes.
know the strength that we bring.
Yep.
The strength that carries us. You know?
Absolutely.
And a reason that I'm here now is because what
Yes.
carries us is the strength that God provides for us. You know,
Yes.
this is our strength.
Yeah.
This we know.
God.
So everything else just sort of expresses out.
Yes.
And this is how we created the book fair. People have asked me, competitors actually, you know, have asked me, so, okay, Max, so how do you do it? How do you do it? Well, you do it from love of self.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You,
Yep.
you do it from the strength that we're given.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and we do it from our desire to just give and to acknowledge ourselves and
Yes.
acknowledge God through us.
There you go.
And that's what we do.
Yeah.
what
That's
we do.
good stuff.
And it looks secular and it looks Christian
Yeah.
and it looks like all of who we are.
It's a nice blend.
Yeah.
And diversity is on display. So I was sharing with Max before the broadcast that my first Harlem Book Fest fair as a young author was 2004.
Okay.
All right, had my books on display, and I did notice that there was at that time it was a diverse group of authors. It was not monolithic at all. Max, share with us, what would you say are the top 2 reasons why the Harlem Book Fair has been able to sustain itself? The top 2.
Now you're asking me for my secret again.
Uh-oh.
That's that same question. That's the same question. But you know, it's a combination of things. You know, it's who we are.
Right.
Yeah.
We are an intelligent, visionary people. You know, we have a vision for ourselves. We have a story to tell.
Yep.
A story that we know that contributes to being. Right.
Yes.
That's one. And then obviously the opposite of that, you know, we don't have the voice. We're not given access to the voice that acknowledges our contribution.
Absolutely.
Okay.
You know,
Right.
and the book fair does that. It's a platform that
Yes.
speaks to us, about us, and for us.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. The simplicity of it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what is the missing in our lives? Where are we not acknowledged for all that we have accomplished, all that we have survived,
Yeah.
and all that we have given creatively to the world?
Yeah.
You know, that's what the book fair is.
That's good.
You know,
That's
it's our
good.
story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes. Can you give the website information if viewers are watching and they want more information, they want to contact you about vending opportunities, how can they do that?
You can go to. I hesitate because I know that the website needs to be up. Yeah,
Okay.
has to be updated.
Okay.
So.
If you go to the website, just know that you might see last year's information, but at
Thank
least
you.
it gives you an idea what
Right.
to expect.
That's true.
Yeah, there you
But
go.
you'll be doing some updates in the new year too,
Yeah,
right?
indeed, but not before the first. I promise. You. The website is www.harlembookfair.com.
Yes.
Pretty straightforward.
Yes.
That's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
And Christian Authors on Tour, I think our first year was in 2010. And we've been able to go at least maybe 3 or 4 times since then, and it's always been a blessing to us. And like you said, we are a group of Christian authors, but you have all types of authors there. It's like you said, it's secular, it's Christian, it's other faiths that are there as well. And that's the beauty, because our people, we are so diverse, we are so rich, and we are so different, but so similar in so many ways. That's and so and what I really loved about the Harlem Book Fair was the fact that it was outside. I also love the fact that the people were just so, they were like they're just like hungry, and we always had a good time. I loved doing the open stage, and one year we were able to do the workshop. And so I wanted you to give our viewing audience, for those who's never had the experience of the Harlem Book Fair, and this year is 2 days, and I want you to talk a little bit about what they can expect over that 2-day period, and it's July 20th through the 21st, 2019.
That's right.
Okay.
And so you're right, Lynn.
Yes.
You reminded me of the first thing, when you turn the corner, the first thing that you're hit with, literally, is just the energy.
Yes.
Imagine thousands of book lovers that
it's electric.
that happen to all look like us, and not totally, because again, it's in New York, so it's everyone comes to the book fair, but the energy is palpable.
Yes.
And you say, "Oh, I'm home." This is, as a book lover, you say, "I'm home."
Right.
I'm in book heaven. I'm in book heaven. These are my stories. But we have author readings.
Yes.
We have workshops on how tos, whether you want to publish, or we have manuscript reviews for authors that are in the process of writing.
Yes.
We have all of those new authors, those popular authors that are provided to us by publishers that come in. So we, you'll see the Walter Mosleys and the Eric Jerome Dickeys and Mary Monroe. You'll see those. You'll see Christian authors, a whole range of authors. There's music. There's poetry, there's food, there's children's pavilions, there's just so much energy going on, it really is a media event, because you'll see camera crews running around, you'll be interviewed in the moment, it's fun, it's exhilarating, it truly is our life in books.
Good,
and then we talk about it.
Right. Max, help us to understand the relationship with C-SPAN. How did that begin, and where has it taken the book fair in terms of visibility?
Well, how did it begin? One word: God. And I say that literally because I got a phone call one day.
Okay.
Hey, I'm calling from C-SPAN. Yeah, okay.
Then they call back.
Call me back. And from that phone call, we began a relationship. C-SPAN Book TV would come to the book fair.
Yes.
Another integral part of the book fair has been the panel discussions, and those are the events that we broadcast on C-SPAN. We're a little limited in that because C-SPAN's mandate is nonfiction only, so C-SPAN won't cover fiction authors. Even though we've tried to work through that, but that's their mandate. That's their corporate mandate. So our nonfiction authors get to talk about issues, politics, history, biographies, memoirs that relate to us as a community. And they have been instrumental in really, in creating the book fair as the largest African American book festival. And certainly the longest running. So it's been a very good relationship.
Great.
Excellent. We're happy.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yes. So what are the special highlights? I know it's still early, but do you have any like special news you can share, about what people can expect, in 2019?
It is early. It is early. And I hate to sound redundant, but you know, I'm really excited about the work that you and I are doing at the Harlem Book Fair. I was sharing earlier today that, you know, after 20 years of presenting our writers, you know, that within that, the conversation of life, there's really only one conversation that sort of forwards our intention, you know, that gives us access to possibilities.
Absolutely.
You know, everything else, they're all good stories, but they're all more of the same. They're all here we are.
Yeah.
And here we are stories are good. They're entertaining because the other side of here we are story is I'm glad it's not me. You see, you know, that's fine. But what about those stories that speak to I want that to be me? You see, those are Christian books.
Right.
You know,
Right.
those and that's why I'm. You know, you called and I knew to say yes, because at some point you have to stand and publicly declare, you know, who you are and what you stand for, and what you know is real and true and working,
and not be ashamed.
Right. And that's interesting you say that, Pastor. You know, is I guess that's a conversation, not be ashamed, but when you have access, when you can touch the fruit of the Spirit, there's nothing to be ashamed about. It's like, that's joy.
Exactly.
That's joy.
Exactly.
That's like, come on, I got it.
Exactly.
Wow.
Right.
We got this.
And it shows.
And it shows.
Comes across as energy, like you said, energy, enthusiasm, motivation, all that good stuff.
Right. And you understand that life certainly happens, but those are circumstances. They're not being. They're not life. They're not what grounds us.
Right.
You know,
Right.
they're circumstances that always change. That always change. So we know the transiency of circumstances, no matter how long they may. Sometimes our journeys are long, you know, but we know that they change. But what stays constant, you know, is, you know, who we know ourselves to be.
Exactly.
And that's the joy for me. That's the joy of the Harlem Book Fair. That there's a place where we can say, I am. You know?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. That's good. So share with us, Max, the vision behind transitioning from 1 day to 2 days.
You know, so many people come from across the country. You know, and we have been able to so balance the cost really of that you know, that visit, that vacation.
Right.
You know, into a New York experience. So, you know, come to New York, spend the weekend in New York, and while you're there, do the Harlem Book Fair. Or the other way around, do the Harlem Book Fair and then do New York.
Right.
You know, but there's so much more that we can do. We'd like to offer the option, you know, come for 1 day, come for 2 days. You know, make it a book fair weekend or make it a book fair day and then have your New York weekend. Because, you know, often, you know, it's not too often that you get a chance to come into New York. So, you know, we want to offer some flexibility. We're listening to our exhibitors, you know, to our authors. And we understand, you know, that it's not the cost of the book fair, but it's that hotel, it's that airfare, you know, it's all of that. So how do we make that just more beneficial to you as an author?
That's good.
Absolutely.
That's good.
We're just listening.
Yeah, that's a good vision. Good vision.
So we're really excited. You know, we're really excited about the Harlem Book Fair. But I want to go back to what you talked about, which was your beginnings with QBR, and which is still going strong. And I want you to talk a little bit about, if we have some viewers who are interested in submitting, you know, what's that process like, and just kind of share a little bit about that.
So the book review, again, is what launched the whole conversation around books, and it's QBR.com, Quarterly Black Review, QBR.com. And if we are certainly looking to for books to share with our audience. We have a very large following after 20 years of working with books. We have a very good relationship with the publishing community, and certainly with our readers. We're doing a lot of author video interviews online. We understand that we have to reach the audience where it is, and the audience is now mobile, so we better be able to show up, on their phones or on their devices, and the way they can easily digest the information. So we're doing a lot of that. We simply want to know more about books. The more authors we can talk about, the more books we can talk about, the more we're talking about a story. Can I digress for a quick second?
Oh, sure.
Okay. So historically, there's been a 30-year interest in African American titles. This is, just, culturally. So there was like in the 1800s, there was Charles Chestnut and Paul Laurence Dunbar. They were like, oh, black people read in the 1800s. And then in the 1920s, the Harlem Renaissance, right? 30 years later. And then 30 years after that, the Black Arts Movement with Sonia Sanchez, Amiri Baraka, Tony K. Bambara.
1950.
Right, right. So then, and now the ending, not the ending, of the current interest that began with Terry McMillan's Waiting to Exhale. Right? But these 30 years, but
Bernice McFadden.
That's right, that's right.
Yeah.
So in the middle, in between these 30-year peaks, we didn't stop reading. We didn't stop writing.
Exactly.
But what we lost was the interest from the social culture in our stories. And that's fine, because we certainly can't decide for anyone what they should or shouldn't be interested in. But we certainly have the responsibility to make sure that what interests us stays present.
Exactly.
I love that.
So
we have the responsibility to make sure that what interests us stays present.
That's right. That's right. And so here's the work of the Harlem Book Fair. Here's the work of Christian Authors on Tours. And here's the work of WBGR, ensuring that those 30-year historical peaks disappear. That it not only flatlines, but the interest and the awareness of our contribution to culture and to the world continues to escalate. So that's
great.
Great.
Yeah.
Did I answer the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I went somewhere there.
And then some.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
It's a good history lesson.
Thank you. So look, so Pastor said, and then something that reminds me of a joke that so when you're sitting in church and the pastor says, I only have a minute. I only have a short minute to say what I have to say. Oh, no.
You're going to be there for a while. That's just how we roll. We can't help it.
That's right. Okay.
Wow. So you see, as we have, look, we only have but a few minutes left, or maybe one, But listen, we're so excited. If you feel the energy watching us this morning, you understand that this is serious. We are looking forward to being at the Harlem Book Fair in July.
Thank you.
We are definitely going to be there on that Saturday, which is July 20th. We're hoping that you will make the commitment to join us, okay? This is going to be a wonderful and dynamic event. You have to be there. Mark it on your calendar. July 20th through the 21st, Harlem, New York.
Harlem, New York.
And again, the website is?
HarlemBookFair.com. And Lynn, that we will be, what is it when we will be live casting the book fair.
Okay.
So if you're not able to come in, you can still enjoy the experience.
Yes, absolutely.
We'd rather you be there.
Absolutely. We would certainly rather you be there. And we're so thankful that you all tuned in this morning to the CAOT TV show. Max, thank you so much.
Thank you.
What a
Thank
pleasure.
you.
What an honor.
Yes.
Pastor Kevin, it's
Yes.
always a pleasure.
Always. And we'll see you on the first broadcast of 2019 as we kick it off, as we cut that cake.
Yes, 11 years. And thank you for just making it such a wonderful journey. And it's been a tough journey, but it's been a blessed journey. And so until next time, God bless everybody.